Whoa, a little different setup. What's up, guys? Little podcast, quick one today. You probably can't see because I'm talking in this little microphone right here. But let's see what we got. Tomorrow, if anything I've learned through the past few weeks is that the NFL is playing dirty. Vegas knows exactly what's going on these days. Took the Bears against Tampa Bay previously on the money line. Really didn't have too much faith in my Bears, but I thought for some reason the Tampa Bay Bucks were not going to pull it off. Ended up working out well on both ends. You got a few going today in college. This morning I am 7 for 10, so hitting 70%. I got an 8-leg parlay going right now, and that 8-leg parlay is looking ripe. And when I mean ripe, it's looking good. In the 8-team parlay, Miami, Florida, Temple, West Virginia, Clemson. Temple was scaring me. They had to come back and take over in the last half of the game. Notre Dame moneyline, Marshall, North Carolina, Virginia Tech. It's a ballsy 8-team parlay. It's going to win it's about 70% profit of what you put in. As you know, I do little guys, so I'm only going to win about $20 on that parlay. But I didn't risk a lot either. So tomorrow you got the Falcons-Vikings. Falcons-Vikings, overs 54. I like it. Is Julio, I forget to check to see if Julio is in fact playing. If Julio's playing, I like that over a lot. Both teams are going to air it out. Madison's looking good. Pick those Madison cards up now. Get them ready to go. If he has another big game, his cards are probably going to have a nice effect on it. So that's one guy I would start digging out now. I'm sure a lot of you guys got him in breaks or boxes last year and figured this guy will never see the light of day. And then he came out when Dalvin Cook got hurt last year, did pretty well. Again, this year, the same thing, same result. It seems like with the Dalvin Cook situation where he cannot stay healthy. So I would, in fact, get those Madison cards out. Let me check real quick. Julio Jones is playing. I'm taking that over. I'm taking that Minnesota over for sure because Julio Jones tends to come back after missing absence or having a long absence in the season and typically puts up about 100 yards and a touchdown when he gets back. Matt Ryan, they're looking for their first win. Minnesota's trying to keep that momentum going. And Justin Jefferson's looking really good right now. Adam Thielen's getting it going. They threw numbers up against the Seahawks, which is arguably one of the best teams in the league right now, if not top 3. I know Flo is probably over here thinking had to tell someone we want to jump on here. Yeah, like I was saying, Minnesota's looking good. Flo is going to come in here and probably criticize me for not saying that Russell Wilson is the MVP of the league. I'm still going to say Aaron Rodgers is number 1 and Russ is number 2. I would put them right next to each other in voting. Josh Allen had a weak game. I look for him to bounce back this week. I look for Tannehill and the Titans to come out strong this week as well. Let's get back to the games. Vikings are -4. I'd probably take them on the line in the over. I probably will take them on the line. I'm probably going to take that over separate. Looking for Ravens, Eagles. Over 46. The Eagles are having trouble scoring. I know I'm talking about this season, not just talking about the past week. The Ravens were not, if it wasn't for the Ravens defense, they were not putting I don't know. This game's kind of a trap to me. 9.5 minus for the Ravens. I don't know. I don't know if I see them blowing out the Eagles, and the Eagles are home. That 9.5 juicy. I kind of like the under. I think it's going to be a slow game. That's kind of what the Eagles plays a slower pace game. They can't get that. I really wouldn't touch that game in general. The Bears Panthers. The Bears are plus 100, +1. That's going to come down. Teddy Bridgewater looked pretty good with the Saints last year against the Bears, but that's the Saints. That's Sean Payton. That's not the Carolina Panthers. Mike Davis was running all over. The Bears' run game is not very good. As you've seen, Ronald Jones again kind of getting through that hole. We miss Eddie Goldman. I could kind of see this game going over 44.5, to be honest. I don't know about taking either team. They both scare me. As a Bears fan, I don't think we even deserve to be where we are. And I'm still not sold on Nick Foles. This game is kind of a trap for me. I'm not sure I'd take it at all. If anything, maybe I'm taking that over at 44.5 because I might buy a point or two and get like 42, 43. I'm going to look at the Bengals-Colts game, and I don't see why the over's so low at 46. I know the Colts are struggling, but Jonathan Taylor can just take over at any moment. Phillip Rivers can at least throw a touchdown or two. T.Y. Hilton's looking to get out there and bounce back with another big game. You got the Bengals. T. Higgins is looking really good. You got, Mixon's going to get in that mix. Joe Burrow might even run for a touchdown. If there's a player prop out there that you're liking, I'm probably going to take Phillip Rivers over 232.5 for passing yards. I think Phillip Rivers has a strong game. It's not hard against that Bengals defense, and Phil needs to bounce back, or there's talks about Eason and Brissett coming in. You have touchdown passes over 1.5. I probably would take Phillip Rivers on that. I think he'll score or throw at least 2 touchdowns tomorrow. I really like this over. I think the Bengals can get some points on the board, no problem. If I'm looking at I do not see a player prop for interceptions. And if I can be honest for a moment, not that I haven't been, receiving yards, T.Y. Hilton 56.5 lock. T.Y. Hilton having 56.5 yards in the game receiving is a lock to me. Here we go. Quarterback interceptions. Philip Rivers over. He just has to have one. It's minus 112. Burrow. I see Burrow throwing maybe an interception. Colts defense they don't put any pressure on guys, and they make it happen. Game's a little goofy to me as well, but I think that's a nice over. I would probably buy a couple points on that. You got the Browns Steelers, big game right there. Very big game. Over 51, I'm taking that. Over 51, I'm taking that. The Browns are plus 3.5. I do not think Baker slips up this year against them. The Steelers defense is phenomenal. I know Watt's a little banged up. He was out there. I mean, he was back and forth. Not that the Watts get banged up and don't produce, but you got plus 550 for the first touchdown, Kareem Hunt. 2 scored touchdown is minus 162. I'm going to take that. James Conner is minus 143. I honestly do not think Claypool will do what he did, but I do think that Juju Smith-Schuster will probably have a good game. I feel like this is a Juju game. Odell as well. If he scores at all, he's plus 165. I'm taking Odell to score a touchdown in this game. The over is 51. The Browns are plus 3.5. I might take the Browns at plus 3.5. I think this could be a field goal game. I think that hook might save you. Broncos, Pats. I mean, the Patriots are going to win. The Patriots are going to win. I'm probably taking the Patriots parlay somewhere. Honestly, at 44.5, Broncos are going to score a touchdown. They might score 10 to 13 points in total. The Patriots might take over that game. I could see them scoring 30, 31 points. I can see the Patriots. I see Cam Newton coming out after all the COVID stuff, after all that scare. I could see the Patriots defense just lighting up the Broncos, maybe getting a pick six or putting themselves on the board somehow or another. I can see the Lions and the Jags. The Lions are -3. The Jags are +3. This is weird. I take the Lions. I don't touch the over-under. That's a goofy game to me as well. A lot of trap. It feels like a lot of this stuff's being a trap now. Vegas is kind of hitting it right on the head, except for like college football where you see these overs happening left and right. I mean, the overs in college are happening more often than not, and I've been hitting them live after hitting the first half or having known I got 50 and the score is 27-10 going into halftime. That first overall lock is going to hit, and then I'm going to take that second one. Might even take the underdog team in the second half recently, knowing that if it's Clemson and they're winning 63-10, the guys who are down are going to come back and just be able to score because Clemson's out there playing defense. I kind of hedge on that underdog team in the second half. Texans, Titans, 53.5 for the over. I like that over. I think it's going to be Derrick Henry in a shootout game. Jonnu Smith looked pretty good last week. You had A.J. Brown. He was back looking in prime form. The Texans' defense is atrocious. The coaching is in shambles. They got their first win last week. I like Deshaun Watson to throw at least 2 touchdowns, maybe a pick or two. I like the Titans to score at least 28 points. If Houston could get themselves up there to at least 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, I can almost guarantee I'm going to take that over. I might buy a point or two. It really hasn't moved. It's at 110 on both sides. I really like the Titans on the line. I like that over. I might throw a parlay with them on it somewhere, maybe with the Lions and the Patriots. Washington and the Giants. Big trap game. Big trap. I think the Giants at -2.5 do not cover that 2.5. I don't think it's going to be a field goal game, but I just don't feel confident enough. I think it could be like 30-31, if that makes sense. So that over is 43. There's really no defense. Daniel Jones could get it going at any moment with Evan Ingram and company. So I kind of see that happening here. The Washington football team, I could see him scoring a few touchdowns. Kyle Allen looked like he was ready to go and try and be a starter somewhere. He was running. He was making things happen on his feet and throwing the ball. Then he got knocked out. Then Alex Smith came in. Alex Smith didn't look awful, but that offensive line is so bad that he probably wished that his knee was broke forever and he couldn't come back to that team. Moving on. That game's scary. 43 is the over-under. I could see it being 21 at half. I could see that over hitting at halftime. Jets, Dolphins later in the day. Dolphins -9.5. The Jets are 9.5. This is a trap game for me. Joe Flacco didn't look too bad. Not that he's really good, but his team, he was trying to do what he can to get a win. That team's just really, really bad, but they were putting points up. I might take them at +9.5, to be honest. I don't think it's going to be a blowout Dolphins win. Actually, you know what? I take that back. Dolphins are home. I forgot about that. There's just something about that Miami weather. People can't keep up. 47 is the over-under. Dolphins could put points up. The defense, that's a juicy over as well. I don't see them covering on the line. They're -385. I might take that. The Jets are +9.5. I don't know. That's a juicy total given to them. Packers, I don't like a lot of these games this week. A lot of colleges hitting fine. Baseball's getting goofy. Houston's coming back from a 3-0 deficit, and now it's game 7. Fuck them. Sunday's 325 game is the 325 for me. Packers and Bucks. Packers-Bucks game is going to be very, very interesting. +1 for the Bucks, -1 for the Pack. Bucks could squeeze this one out. Aaron Rodgers has to be in prime form. Tom Brady's going to come out very upset after that Bears game, and honestly, the Bucks might be a good take on the money line. Not even the +1, +100. Maybe you could just throw a quick dime bag on them or something, or quick $10, something like that. I could see the Bucks winning in Tampa. Rams, Niners, game of the night. Niners getting +3. Why are the Rams -3? The 51.5, I like that. Jimmy Garoppolo is playing. Hopefully he's actually 100%. Him and Kittle will get it going. You got Debo gets it going. You got Mozart. They got a lot of guys back on offense. That 49ers might slip this out. That's a tough game. I might sit back, take the over, and not take either team to win. That 51.5 is juicy. We know the Rams can put points up. We know it's a primetime game. They want to put on a show. It's the 49ers at home. I know that defense is depleted over in San Fran. They're only getting +3, so something's up here. I would check. I'm going to throw a couple posts out tomorrow, what I'm taking at the end of the day. Chiefs, Bills. +4 for the Bills at home. That over's 57. The Chiefs need to get it going at one point, and it needs to be now. They can't keep doing this. We're only going to score 10, 20 points a half. They have to get it going. They just lost to Oakland. That over hit. I'm taking that over at 57. Josh Allen's going to bounce back. It's a primetime game. The Chiefs might be playing really good defense, but they also let the Raiders light them up. Josh Allen's going to be using his feet more. If John Brown's back, if everybody's healthy over there, the whole core, Cole Beasley started stepping up. Once Josh Allen started utilizing everybody, I don't see why they can't put those points up. The Bills are getting +4. I probably would take the Chiefs on the line, maybe that over. I want to say the Bills win as a fan of Josh Allen, but realistically, the Chiefs are going to come in hot. They blew out the Baltimore Ravens on primetime game. They will come back to the Buffalo Bills and blow them out, I feel like, and will not look foolish. Will Le'Veon Bell play? If Le'Veon Bell plays, he'll probably get minimum snaps. He might be trying to make an impression in the first game. I'm not sure he's even going to play and suit up or get a couple snaps in. If you have him in fantasy, I would sit him probably this week, just see what's going on over there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire might want to try and get it going so he doesn't lose his starting job. I think that there are a lot of lines changing throughout the day, and I'm probably taking Chiefs on the over. The Cardinals-Cowboys is going to be that's going to be tough. I do not know why Andy Dalton would lose at home. Over-under is 54.5. That's a lot. I might say that under. Kyler's going to have to be playing the game of his life. If there's some scrambling, last week I took the scrambling yards for Kyler. I think it was like 37.5. Kyler's +130 to score a touchdown. Amari Cooper's +135. Hopkins +110. I'm definitely taking him to score a touchdown. Amari Cooper's going to get it going. I might take him on +135. Dalton started going to him once he got in the game a lot. So I would probably go with that route as well. They got Andy Dalton throwing almost 300 yards on the over. I'm not sure I'd take that. I know the Cardinals' defense isn't special right now, but they might be relying on Zeke a lot. So that's kind of a trap because if Zeke grabs the ball on a 5-yard dump off and he runs for 50, it's going to clearly hurt that player prop. Touchdown passes 1.5 for each quarterback. Won't even really touch that. If I'm looking at player props I might take an interception on Dalton. He's 1. Rushing yards, Kenyon Drake 59.5, Zeke 89.5. I think Zeke has 100 yards. Zeke player prop over 89.5. Definitely something I'm going to take. Kyler Murray over 42.5. Kyler will probably run. I think Kyler has 50 on the ground. It's probably going to sum it up here. These games are all traps, like I said. So a lot of things are changing now. The easy money in Vegas is probably more or less that is going to be very challenging to hit some of these bets this week because they are all looking very, very scary when it comes to Vegas knowing what they're doing. College football is just warming up. College football is going to be your play for a little bit here. If you have more insight, love to hear it. Leave some feedback. I'll see you guys later. That's the Week 6 podcast. Chase Claypool, sell those cards now. I'm not sure he's going to do it again. Maybe get some Le'Veon cards going. Pokemon's hot. I don't have too much on cards right now. Madison, like I said, get those out, get them going. Andy Dalton, if he gets a win, start getting those Andy Dalton cards up and start raising those prices because he has a game. You know what's going to happen. T. Higgins, like I said before many times since the season started, get those T. Higgins cards going. Get them going. Benny Snell looks like his job might be up. Anthony McFarland Jr. looks pretty good behind James Conner. I would probably start looking at some of his cards. And Jalen Hurts is going to be stepping into it. I have a good feeling. Maybe Jacob Eason, not sure. They might go back to Brissett. So I would start looking at Jacob Eason and Jalen Hurts cards to buy on the low, start on the flip. Hurts cards, his autos from Mosaic, stuff like that. They're only going for about $1.50. Maybe start piling up on a few of him, not too much. But as soon as he gets that start, you know those cards are going to go from $100 to $300 just because. But I don't know if they're going to bench Wentz. You never know if he gets injured because Wentz is going to have to do everything he can to get that starting job. Start getting those Tannehills up if you haven't already and start releasing those. You have a handful of guys. Travis Fulgham had a day last week. He will not do that again, I don't think, all season. I would start selling high on him now. Buy low if you can because you never know what's going to happen over there with him. And the wide receiving core is pretty weak. Jalen Reagor and company, you might want to look at other Eagles cheap rookie card sets right now and start piling those up. Aside from, I had one more guy in mind, and now I forgot. I'm a fool. I don't want to say Tua. Tua's going to be where he's at. I don't see him playing this year unless Fitz is out. Running back wise, yeah, I mean, you got a lot of running backs coming in and out these days. You look at Baltimore, you need J.K. Dobbins to have a big game if you're a Baltimore fan and you're a Baltimore investor and you spent a lot on J.K. Dobbins. So hopefully they start running that ball, not just with Lamar, but with the running backs because that's where the true running game is. Lamar's looking weak. Sorry if you guys spent $10,000 on his rookie cards. I never would have done that. I would have sold right away at that and never looked back. So, all right, guys, I'll see you next week, hopefully.